Gentlelady yields back, and I yield 5 minutes to myself. You know, funding alone is not going to fix a broken transportation system. Money's important. We all know it. It's real important. But besides the money, there are other issues. We put $180 billion invested through the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, which I supported, by the way, bipartisan way. Yet major challenges persist. Ridership is still low. Fare revenues haven't recovered completely. Crime in some cases is up, and agencies continue to fall short of delivering results that justify completely this level of support. Meanwhile, the flow of federal funds is too slow. The feds are at fault too. The process too confusing, and oversight sometimes is too weak. That's why the upcoming reauthorization must focus on smarter investments, faster delivery, stronger oversight, and real accountability. We got to do things differently. You know, I have a friend of mine who's from the South in a rural area, and he has a saying, get her done. Get her done. Did you ever hear that? Let's get this done. Let's see if we can get this done. Everybody supports, I really do believe the vast majority of members of Congress and the public support public transportation, as was said by a number of my colleagues. If it's clean, if it's safe, if it's quick, if it's responsive. Local agencies are stuck navigating vague guidance, red tape, shifting timelines that causes delay and it increases costs. It leaves communities waiting and waiting and waiting. We're behind schedule on many projects. Mr. Feigenbaum, thank you first of all for being here today. How can the FTA improve clarity and consistency so that the funds are delivered faster, that the projects are done on schedule, on time, and on budget?
Sure. So thank you for the question. I think the first thing is to set up a detailed timeline of the amount of time, maximum times it would take for a project to be delivered or for a project to go through review and the funds to be expended. Right now, there really isn't such a timeline, and I think that would be helpful. Two, I think there needs to be some clear guidance as to exactly what information agencies want and some maybe realisticness. There was a time when a detailed cost-benefit analysis was required, and many smaller agencies really didn't have the resources for that, and so FTA staff actually ended up doing it themselves, and so it was kind of a silly thing to ask for. So it's a combination of detailed timeline, clear instructions, and making sure the agency's asking for realistic information.
Good answer. Could you do me a favor and get that response you just gave me to the staff here in Transportation Infrastructure Committee and to me personally in my office as well?
Sure.
Thank you. You know, I think we all agree taxpayers deserve to know what's going on, where their money's going, why they're spending this money, if we're making things better, if we're making them more efficient, if it's working, period. So, Mr. Feigenbaum, I'm picking on you today. Should agencies be required to, in fact, real quickly, almost like a yes or no, if you could all answer this, should agencies be required to report real-time data on safety, service, and ridership to ensure accountability? And I'll start actually with Mr. Reagan. It's kind of a short answer, if you could.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Okay, we'll skip
I'll
you
be
for
really
now.
fast.
Mr. Feigenbaum.
Yes, I do. With the technology today, it's very doable.
Mr. Budaban.
I think it would be great. It would require a lot of infrastructure investment to do it.
Ms. Klein.
I agree with the gentleman.
So you're saying great idea, it's going to cost a lot of bucks. Mr. Ford.
The answer is yes, and right now, APTA reports that type of data, particularly ridership data, every week.
So Mr. Reagan was to report real-time data on safety, service, and ridership.
100%, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Funding flexibility has its place, and it's good, and we're all about that, I think, bipartisan, but it shouldn't come at the expense of oversight. Would you support Congress placing clearer limits on the use of federal transit funds to prevent waste and mismanagement before it happens? Again, we only have a few seconds, so real quick.
Yes.
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 And that wouldn't cost a ton of money. I think that's something that's really doable. So I think these are things maybe as a committee we should look at. I appreciate any input my office would. I know the good, great staff here, we in transportation infrastructure would, and maybe we can actually do something. I know that's weird for Congress, but maybe we actually could, being a little sarcastic. Thank you so much for your time, and I yield back.